I know I've done videos similar to this before, but I wanted to talk about female DJs. I have said before that I don't really recognize female DJs, and without some context to that statement, it sounds bad to say the least. On Facebook, I was invited to a group, probably by accident, of female DJs, but I'm glad I'm in the group because I like to help. I like to help anyone, regardless as to what your gender happens to be. And I'm interested to see what's going on with female DJs. I wrote a post in there today that I kind of liked. It was something that I don't know if I've completely expressed before, and I wanted to read it to you to give my statement of not recognizing female DJs some context. Here it is. There are a couple of women that are the reason I'm a DJ today. In fact, my mobile DJ mentor was female. This was back in the late 80s, early 90s. Kristen, who goes by Chris Maryland, is retired now and still my friend to this day, but I don't ever remember thinking of her as a female DJ. I mean, she obviously was, but to me, she was no different professionally than the guys who were doing it. She had this whole other set of issues she had to deal with out there that a guy like me didn't have to worry about, especially back then. We're talking about everything from heavy equipment we used back in those days to drunk men at gigs hitting on her, having to really knock every event out of the park to earn respect. Looking back, she not only dealt with all of that, but she never complained about any of it or made excuses or expected special treatment. She was a solid programmer and had a great stage microphone presence, better than most, and earned respect from her peers. I'll also say this as an editorial here. Back then, this was less of a, hey, look at me, look what I'm doing kind of thing. DJs were heard and not seen for the most part. I don't ever remember Kristen dressing provocatively or using the female thing to her advantage, which she totally could have, but she didn't. She was dressing like the guys who were DJing, and we were all wearing tuxedos back then for weddings. That's a whole nother video. She was wearing that, and not necessarily, flaunting anything. If you've got it, flaunt it. Believe me, use what you've got. But Kristen didn't use any of that. She just relied on her skills as a DJ, and she was good. All right, getting back to my essay here. The other woman who got me into this was a few years earlier when I was 13. Her and her husband owned the local skating rink. I used to help her pick out records in those Columbia House Record and Tape Club mailers at the skating counter. Just hang out with her sometimes, even before the session. And what are you doing? Oh yeah, hey, this is a good record. I had fun with that. One day the DJ didn't show, so she asked me to DJ. I had no idea what any of that stuff was, so she sent me into the booth with her 10-year-old daughter, who explained to me how the mixing board and lights worked, showed me how to cue a record, etc. Now that I'm writing this all down here, she would have been the third female that is the reason I'm doing this today. And she was 10 years old. Didn't even think of it, but yeah, there's a third one in the formative early days. Maybe this is kind of telling as to why I'm not thinking of DJs as male or female. I see and respect DJs regardless of all that. I recognize greatness and not so great regardless of gender. With all that being said, when a DJ is female and out there killing it, I know she's worked harder, put up with more BS, and is much better at this thing of ours than the average dude. I need to give credit where credit is due. They didn't expect any less of me for being young. I didn't expect any less of them for being female. Thank you, ladies. That's my essay that I wrote, and I thought it was worth a video. And it's absolutely 100% true. I see DJs. I don't see female DJs. I don't see male DJs. I don't see black DJs, white DJs. I don't. I just see DJs. You're either good or you're not. And I don't make allowances for anybody because they're female or because they're gay or because they're short or tall or fat or skinny or ugly. No, you're either great or you're not. And if you have anything that you perceive as a shortcoming as a DJ that you have to overcome, you get even more respect from me because you step up and you overcome these obstacles, which is what I do indeed recognize. But professionally, if I'm talking to any of the DJs who happen to be female that I know, I don't expect any less of them than I do a guy. I don't expect any more from them. But if they're killing it, man, hey, mad respect, because I know they're dealing with issues that I don't have to deal with. I've got my own set of issues that I have to deal with. I'm disabled. I have to have smaller equipment to carry around. I have to be able to set things up a lot differently than other DJs do. But I'm not making excuses. I'm overcoming obstacles. And that's where my respect comes in for any woman who's doing this. But you're not a female DJ. You're a DJ. And you're a peer. And I respect you for it. That's my video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. And if you could, hit the like button, subscribe, all that stuff. I'd appreciate it. Practice and enjoy.